CLEP Principles of Management, Centralization Decentralization. Question 1. To analyze a case where managers compare internal strengths and weaknesses with external opportunities and threats at a family-owned business for the Falcon unit, which term should be selected? Option A, SWOT analysis. Option B, PERT analysis. Option C, performance appraisal. Option D, collective bargaining. The correct answer is option A, SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis fits because SWOT analysis organizes internal and external factors for strategic planning. PERT analysis is different because it schedules complex project activities, performance appraisal is different because it evaluates an employee's work, and collective bargaining is different because it negotiates labor agreements. Question 2. For an exam item where branch managers are allowed to solve local customer problems without headquarters approval in a multinational company for the Falcon unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, centralization. Option B, decentralization. Option C, bureaucracy. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option B, decentralization. Decentralization fits because decentralization gives lower levels more authority to make decisions. Centralization is different because it keeps authority at the top, bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 3. In a workplace example where an employee follows formal steps to challenge a contract violation at a new startup for the Falcon unit, which concept is tested? Option A, selection procedure. Option B, budgeting process. Option C, grievance procedure. Option D, brainstorming. The correct answer is option C, grievance procedure. Grievance procedure fits because a grievance procedure gives employees a formal path for resolving workplace complaints. Selection procedure is different because it screens job applicants, budgeting process is different because it plans financial resources, and brainstorming is different because it generates ideas before judging them. Question 4. Before choosing an answer about managers estimate future sales before setting staffing levels at a warehouse facility for the Falcon unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, delegation. Option B, forecasting. Option C, job enrichment. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option B, forecasting. Forecasting fits because forecasting predicts future conditions so managers can plan more intelligently. Delegation is different because it assigns responsibility and authority. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility to a job, and mediation is different because it uses a neutral party to guide dispute resolution. Question 5. One manager notices that frontline employees send suggestions and problems to senior managers inside a project team for the Falcon unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, upward communication. Option B, downward communication. Option C, horizontal communication. Option D, external communication. The correct answer is option A, upward communication. Upward communication fits because upward communication flows from lower levels to higher levels. Downward communication is different because it flows from managers to employees. Horizontal communication is different because it flows across peers, and external communication is different because it crosses organizational boundaries. Question 6. Could a case where a manager uses rewards and consequences to increase desired behavior inside a training program for the Falcon unit best point to which concept? Option A, equity theory. Option B, goal-setting theory. Option C, reinforcement theory. Option D, matrix structure. The correct answer is option C, reinforcement theory. Reinforcement theory fits because reinforcement theory explains behavior through its consequences. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness perceptions. Goal-setting theory is different because it emphasizes clear and challenging goals, and matrix structure is different because it creates dual reporting lines. Question 7. Why would a scenario where a team member keeps discussion focused on goals, facts, and deadlines during a manufacturing expansion for the Falcon unit most likely test which idea? Option A, maintenance role. Option B, blocking role. Option C, task role. Option D, informal authority. The correct answer is option C, task role. Task role fits because task roles help the group accomplish its work. Maintenance role is different because it supports relationships and morale. Blocking role is different because it disrupts group progress, and informal authority is different because it comes from influence rather than position. Question 8. Where does a company gives managers broad guidance for handling customer refunds within a non-profit organization for the Falcon unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, procedure. Option B, policy. Option C, rule. Option D, vision. The correct answer is option B, policy. Policy fits because a policy is a general guideline for recurring decisions. Procedure is different because it gives exact steps to follow, rule is different because it states a specific required or prohibited action, and vision is different because it describes a desired future. Question 9. Should a student connect work is studied to find the most efficient way to perform each task inside a regional branch for the Falcon unit with which management concept? Option A, human relations approach. Option B, contingency theory. Option C, scientific management. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option C, scientific management. Scientific management fits because scientific management emphasizes task analysis, standard methods, and efficiency. Human relations approach is different because it emphasizes social needs and worker attitudes. Contingency theory is different because it argues management depends on the situation, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes hierarchy and rules. Question 10. Which concept is shown when a leader gives capable experts broad freedom and little direct supervision in a customer service center for the Falcon unit? Option A, laissez-faire leadership. Option B, autocratic leadership. Option C, bureaucratic leadership. Option D, transactional leadership. The correct answer is option A, laissez-faire leadership. Laissez-faire leadership fits because laissez-faire leadership minimizes leader control and allows follower autonomy. Autocratic leadership is different because it is directive and centralized. Bureaucratic leadership is different because it follows rules closely, and transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes rewards and corrections. Question 11. Employees share unofficial information before management makes a formal announcement at a family-owned business for the Falcon unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, organization chart. Option B, policy manual. Option C, budget report. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option D, grapevine. Grapevine fits because the grapevine is the informal communication network inside an organization. Organization chart is different because it is a formal structure diagram. Policy manual is different because it gives official guidance, and budget report is different because it gives financial control information. Question 12. During a management case, an organization designs pay rates, incentives, and salary ranges in a multinational company for the Falcon unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, compensation. Option B, benefits. Option C, recruitment. Option D, quality control. The correct answer is option A, compensation. Compensation fits because compensation covers financial rewards given for employee work. Benefits is different because they are indirect rewards such as insurance or leave. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and quality control is different because it checks output against standards. Question 13. How should a manager classify a situation where managers set expected revenues and spending limits for a department at a new startup for the Falcon unit? Option A, organization chart. Option B, budget. Option C, job description. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option B, budget. Budget fits because a budget is a financial plan that helps allocate and control resources. Organization chart is different because it shows formal reporting relationships. Job description is different because it lists position duties, and grapevine is different because it is informal communication. Question 14. When a leader changes direction and support based on follower readiness at a warehouse facility for the Falcon unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, bureaucratic management. Option C, job enrichment. Option D, situational leadership. The correct answer is option D, situational leadership. Situational leadership fits because situational leadership adapts leader behavior to the maturity or readiness of followers. Autocratic leadership is different because it consistently centers decisions on the leader. Bureaucratic management is different because it emphasizes formal rules, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns jobs for motivation. Question 15. After employees in marketing and operations coordinate work at the same level inside a project team for the Falcon unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, downward communication. Option B, upward communication. Option C, chain of command. Option D, horizontal communication. The correct answer is option D, horizontal communication. Horizontal communication fits because horizontal communication occurs among people or units at similar levels. Downward communication is different because it flows down the hierarchy, upward communication is different because it flows up the hierarchy, and chain of command is different because it shows formal authority lines. Question 16. If a supervisor motivates employees and guides them toward a shared goal inside a training program for the Falcon unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, planning. Option B, leading. Option C, organizing. Option D, controlling. The correct answer is option B, leading. Leading fits because leading focuses on influencing, motivating, and directing people. Planning is different because it is about setting direction before action. Organizing is different because it designs responsibilities and relationships, and controlling is different because it compares results with standards. Question 17. To analyze a case where a supervisor paraphrases an employee's concern before responding during a manufacturing expansion for the Falcon unit, which term should be selected? Option A, active listening. Option B, filtering. Option C, noise. Option D, downward control. The correct answer is option A, active listening. Active listening fits because active listening checks understanding and shows attention to the speaker. Filtering is different because it distorts information before it reaches the receiver. Noise is different because it interferes with communication, and downward control is different because it is not a standard communication concept. Question 18. For an exam item where workers are told that safety goggles must be worn in the lab within a non-profit organization for the Falcon unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, policy. Option B, strategy. Option C, rule. Option D, empowerment. The correct answer is option C, rule. Rule fits because a rule states exactly what must or must not be done. Policy is different because it offers broad guidance rather than a specific command. Strategy is different because it sets broad direction, and empowerment is different because it gives employees more decision authority. Question 19. In a workplace example where a new customer segment appears in the market inside a regional branch for the Falcon unit, which concept is tested? Option A, opportunity. Option B, weakness. Option C, strength. Option D, policy. The correct answer is option A, opportunity. Opportunity fits because an opportunity is an external condition the organization can use to improve results. Weakness is different because it is inside the organization, strength is different because it is an internal advantage, and policy is different because it is a general decision guideline. Question 20. Before choosing an answer about union representatives and management negotiate wages, hours, and working conditions in a customer service center for the Falcon unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, collective bargaining. Option B, mediation. Option C, recruitment. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option A, collective bargaining. Collective bargaining fits because collective bargaining is the negotiation process between labor and management. Mediation is different because it uses a neutral helper in a dispute. Recruitment is different because it attracts job applicants, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 21. One manager notices that a leader recognizes frustration in a team and responds calmly at a family-owned business for the Falcon unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, technical skill. Option B, benchmarking. Option C, span of control. Option D, emotional intelligence. The correct answer is option D, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence fits because emotional intelligence involves understanding and managing emotions in oneself and others. Technical skill is different because it concerns specialized job knowledge. Benchmarking is different because it compares practices with leaders, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 22. Could a case where a firm discovers its outdated software is hurting productivity in a multinational company for the Falcon unit best point to which concept? Option A, weakness. Option B, strength. Option C, opportunity. Option D, threat. The correct answer is option A, weakness. Weakness fits because a weakness is an internal limitation that can reduce performance. Strength is different because it is an internal advantage. Opportunity is different because it comes from a favorable external condition, and threat is different because it comes from an unfavorable external condition. Question 23. Why would a scenario where a manager uses formal authority to impose a conflict decision quickly at a new startup for the Falcon unit most likely test which idea? Option A, accommodation. Option B, forcing. Option C, collaboration. Option D, compromise. The correct answer is option B, forcing. Forcing fits because forcing is a win-lose style that relies on power or authority. Accommodation is different because it gives in to preserve harmony. Collaboration is different because it seeks mutual gains, and compromise is different because it splits concessions between sides. Question 24. Where does managers track economic, legal, technological, and social forces outside the firm at a warehouse facility for the Falcon unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, external environment. Option B, internal strength. Option C, job description. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option A, external environment. External environment fits because the external environment includes outside forces that affect organizational decisions. Internal strength is different because it is a capability inside the firm, job description is different because it lists a position's duties, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 25. Should a student connect major decisions must be approved by top executives inside a project team for the Falcon unit with which management concept? Option A, decentralization. Option B, centralization. Option C, empowerment. Option D, horizontal communication. The correct answer is option B, centralization. Centralization fits because centralization concentrates decision authority at higher levels. Decentralization is different because it pushes authority to lower levels, empowerment is different because it gives employees more discretion, and horizontal communication is different because it flows among peers. Question 26. Which concept is shown when managers recognize that social needs and group norms affect productivity inside a training program for the Falcon unit? Option A, scientific management. Option B, human relations approach. Option C, classical bureaucracy. Option D, PERT. The correct answer is option B, human relations approach. Human relations approach fits because the human relations approach emphasizes people, morale, and social factors at work. Scientific management is different because it emphasizes efficient task methods. Classical bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes formal rules and hierarchy, and PERT is different because it schedules project activities. Question 27. A manager chooses a satisfactory solution because time and information are limited during a manufacturing expansion for the Falcon unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, perfect rationality. Option B, brainstorming. Option C, bounded rationality. Option D, management by exception. The correct answer is option C, bounded rationality. Bounded rationality fits because bounded rationality recognizes that managers cannot always make perfectly rational decisions. Perfect rationality is different because it assumes complete information and unlimited analysis. Brainstorming is different because it generates many ideas, and management by exception is different because it focuses attention on major deviations. Question 28. During a management case, a leader asks employees for input before making an important decision within a nonprofit organization for the Falcon unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, laissez-faire leadership. Option C, transactional leadership. Option D, democratic leadership. The correct answer is option D, democratic leadership. Democratic leadership fits because democratic leadership involves participation and shared input. Autocratic leadership is different because it relies on leader-centered decision-making. Laissez-faire leadership is different because it provides minimal direction, and transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes exchanges of rewards for performance. Question 29. How should a manager classify a situation where managers study broad principles such as unity of command and division of work inside a regional branch for the Falcon unit? Option A, scientific management. Option B, administrative management. Option C, quantitative management. Option D, e-business. The correct answer is option B, administrative management. Administrative management fits because administrative management focuses on general principles for managing organizations. Scientific management is different because it focuses more on individual task efficiency. Quantitative management is different because it applies mathematical models, and e-business is different because it uses digital technology for business processes. Question 30. When a neutral third party helps disputing employees reach their own agreement in a customer service center for the Falcon unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, arbitration. Option B, collective bargaining. Option C, groupthink. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option D, mediation. Mediation fits because mediation guides the process without imposing a binding decision. Arbitration is different because it usually gives the third-party decision power. Collective bargaining is different because it is labor management negotiation, and groupthink is different because it is pressure toward agreement. Question 31. After a diagram shows formal positions and reporting relationships at a family-owned business for the Falcon unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, balance sheet. Option B, SWOT table. Option C, training plan. Option D, organization chart. The correct answer is option D, organization chart. Organization chart fits because an organization chart visually displays formal authority and reporting lines. Balance sheet is different because it reports financial position. SWOT table is different because it summarizes strategic factors, and training plan is different because it develops employee skills. Question 32. If a manager focuses attention only on major deviations from standards in a multinational company for the Falcon unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, micromanagement. Option B, laissez-faire leadership. Option C, management by exception. Option D, job enlargement. The correct answer is option C, management by exception. Management by exception fits because management by exception saves attention for significant performance gaps. Micromanagement is different because it closely controls small details. Laissez-faire leadership is different because it gives broad freedom, and job enlargement is different because it adds similar tasks. Question 33. To analyze a case where leaders explain why old habits must change before introducing a new system at a new startup for the Falcon unit, which term should be selected? Option A, refreezing. Option B, controlling. Option C, recruiting. Option D, unfreezing. The correct answer is option D, unfreezing. Unfreezing fits because unfreezing prepares people to let go of current behaviors and accept change. Refreezing is different because it stabilizes the new behavior. Controlling is different because it measures performance against standards, and recruiting is different because it attracts applicants. Question 34. For an exam item where a company identifies a patented process it owns as an advantage at a warehouse facility for the Falcon unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, strength. Option B, threat. Option C, opportunity. Option D, weakness. The correct answer is option A, strength. Strength fits because a strength is an internal positive capability or resource. Threat is different because it is an external danger. Opportunity is different because it is an external positive condition, and weakness is different because it is an internal limitation. Question 35. In a workplace example where a project manager maps task sequences and dependencies for a complex project inside a project team for the Falcon unit, which concept is tested? Option A, PERT chart. Option B, Gantt chart. Option C, job description. Option D, policy. The correct answer is option A, PERT chart. PERT chart fits because PERT helps plan and control projects with interdependent activities. Gantt chart is different because it focuses on task timing bars. Job description is different because it lists duties, and policy is different because it gives broad guidance. Question 36. Before choosing an answer about a manager must explain why a project missed its target inside a training program for the Falcon unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, authority. Option B, delegation. Option C, accountability. Option D, recruitment. The correct answer is option C, accountability. Accountability fits because accountability means being answerable for results. Authority is different because it is decision-making power. Delegation is different because it transfers work and authority to another person, and recruitment is different because it attracts job applicants. Question 37. One manager notices that a company prepares a backup response in case a supplier fails during a manufacturing expansion for the Falcon unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, standing rule. Option B, job analysis. Option C, downward communication. Option D, contingency plan. The correct answer is option D, contingency plan. Contingency plan fits because a contingency plan prepares for possible future events or disruptions. Standing rule is different because it gives a continuing command for repeated behavior. Job analysis is different because it studies tasks and requirements, and downward communication is different because it flows from managers to employees. Question 38. Could a case where a manager chooses a leadership style based on the team's skill and the situation within a non-profit organization for the Falcon unit best point to which concept? Option A, one best way approach. Option B, equity theory. Option C, centralization. Option D, contingency theory. The correct answer is option D, contingency theory. Contingency theory fits because contingency theory says effective management depends on situational factors. One best way approach is different because it assumes one method works everywhere. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness perceptions, and centralization is different because it concerns where authority is held. Question 39. Why would a scenario where HR studies the tasks, duties, and requirements of a position inside a regional branch for the Falcon unit most likely test which idea? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, recruitment. Option C, collective bargaining. Option D, job analysis. The correct answer is option D, job analysis. Job analysis fits because job analysis collects information about what a job involves and what worker qualities it requires. Job enrichment is different because it redesigns work for motivation, recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and collective bargaining is different because it negotiates labor agreements. Question 40. Where does a team member reduces tension and encourages quieter members to participate in a customer service center for the Falcon unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, task role. Option B, program decision. Option C, maintenance role. Option D, line authority. The correct answer is option C, maintenance role. Maintenance role fits because maintenance roles support group relationships and cohesion. Task role is different because it focuses directly on completing the work. Program decision is different because it handles routine problems, and line authority is different because it commands core work activities. Question 41. Should a student connect each side gives up part of what it wants to reach a settlement at a family-owned business for the Falcon unit with which management concept? Option A, collaboration. Option B, avoidance. Option C, compromise. Option D, accommodation. The correct answer is option C, compromise. Compromise fits because compromise resolves conflict through mutual concessions. Collaboration is different because it seeks a fuller win-win solution, avoidance is different because it sidesteps the issue, and accommodation is different because it yields to the other side. Question 42. Which concept is shown when a manager has the formal right to make decisions and direct work in a multinational company for the Falcon unit? Option A, responsibility. Option B, accountability. Option C, motivation. Option D, authority. The correct answer is option D, authority. Authority fits because authority is the legitimate right to command resources and give orders. Responsibility is different because it is the duty to perform assigned work. Accountability is different because it is being answerable for results, and motivation is different because it is the drive to act. Question 43. Employees can trace who reports to whom from supervisor to executive at a new startup for the Falcon unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, chain of command. Option C, benchmarking. Option D, equity theory. The correct answer is option B, chain of command. Chain of command fits because the chain of command shows the formal line of authority. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility to work. Benchmarking is different because it compares performance with best practices, and equity theory is different because it concerns perceived fairness. Question 44. During a management case, a job is redesigned to include more responsibility, achievement, and growth at a warehouse facility for the Falcon unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, job enlargement. Option B, job enrichment. Option C, job rotation. Option D, job simplification. The correct answer is option B, job enrichment. Job enrichment fits because job enrichment adds motivating factors to the depth of a job. Job enlargement is different because it adds more tasks at the same level. Job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs, and job simplification is different because it reduces task complexity. Question 45. How should a manager classify a situation where two departments search for a solution that fully addresses both sides' concerns inside a project team for the Falcon unit? Option A, avoidance. Option B, forcing. Option C, collaboration. Option D, compromise. The correct answer is option C, collaboration. Collaboration fits because collaboration tries to create a win-win outcome by addressing underlying interests. Avoidance is different because it postpones or ignores the conflict. Forcing is different because it uses power to win at the other's expense, and compromise is different because it requires each side to give up something. Question 46. When a manager assigns a task and grants enough authority to complete it inside a training program for the Falcon unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, centralization. Option B, job rotation. Option C, delegation. Option D, arbitration. The correct answer is option C, delegation. Delegation fits because delegation transfers responsibility for work along with the authority needed to do it. Centralization is different because it keeps authority near the top. Job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs, and arbitration is different because it uses a third party to make a binding dispute decision. Question 47. After executives respond to a crisis the company has never faced before during a manufacturing expansion for the Falcon unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, non-program decision. Option B, program decision. Option C, procedure. Option D, standing plan. The correct answer is option A, non-program decision. Non-program decision fits because non-program decisions are novel, complex, and not solved by routine rules. Program decision is different because it handles repeated problems, procedure is different because it gives routine steps, and standing plan is different because it guides recurring situations. Question 48. If leaders explain the organization's basic purpose and reason for existing within a non-profit organization for the Falcon unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, procedure. Option B, mission statement. Option C, variance report. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option B, mission statement. Mission statement fits because a mission statement states what the organization does and why it exists. Procedure is different because it gives step-by-step instructions. Variance report is different because it compares actual results with standards, and job specification is different because it lists qualifications for a job. Question 49. To analyze a case where a supervisor is responsible for 12 direct reports inside a regional branch for the Falcon unit, which term should be selected? Option A, chain of command. Option B, unity of direction. Option C, span of control. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option C, span of control. Span of control fits because span of control is the number of employees reporting directly to a manager. Chain of command is different because it shows reporting lines rather than number of reports. Unity of direction is different because it aligns activities under one plan, and job specification is different because it lists qualifications. Question 50. For an exam item where a leader inspires employees with a vision for major change in a customer service center for the Falcon unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, transformational leadership. Option B, transactional leadership. Option C, scientific management. Option D, budgetary control. The correct answer is option A, transformational leadership. Transformational leadership fits because transformational leadership motivates people through vision, meaning, and change. Transactional leadership is different because it focuses on exchanges and rewards. Scientific management is different because it focuses on task efficiency, and budgetary control is different because it monitors financial results. Question 51. In a workplace example where a manager receives so much data that the important signal is hard to identify at a family-owned business for the Falcon unit, which concept is tested? Option A, feedback. Option B, benchmarking. Option C, budgeting. Option D, information overload. The correct answer is option D, information overload. Information overload fits because information overload occurs when too much information reduces decision quality. Feedback is different because it is response information and communication. Benchmarking is different because it compares with leaders, and budgeting is different because it plans financial resources. Question 52. Before choosing an answer about a manager compares actual performance with standards and corrects a gap in a multinational company for the Falcon unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, planning. Option B, controlling. Option C, organizing. Option D, leading. The correct answer is option B, controlling. Controlling fits because controlling measures results, compares them with standards, and triggers corrective action. Planning is different because it sets goals but does not measure completed results. Organizing is different because it assigns work and authority, and leading is different because it motivates people rather than evaluates variances. Question 53. One manager notices that executives choose broad long-term goals for the whole organization at a new startup for the Falcon unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, operational planning. Option B, work scheduling. Option C, strategic planning. Option D, performance appraisal. The correct answer is option C, strategic planning. Strategic planning fits because strategic planning sets organization-wide direction over a longer time horizon. Operational planning is different because it focuses on short-term day-to-day activities. Work scheduling is different because it assigns timing to tasks, and performance appraisal is different because it evaluates employee results. Question 54. Could a case where workers plan, schedule, monitor, and control much of their own work at a warehouse facility for the Falcon unit best point to which concept? Option A. Traditional team. Option B. Virtual organization. Option C. Quality circle. Option D. Self-managed team. The correct answer is option D. Self-managed team. Self-managed team fits because self-managed teams have authority over many administrative and work process decisions. Traditional team is different because it relies more on a supervisor for direction. Virtual organization is different because it uses networks and technology across locations, and quality circle is different because it usually recommends improvements rather than manages all work. Question 55. Why would a scenario where employees organize as a group to represent their workplace interests inside a project team for the Falcon unit most likely test which idea? Option A. Labor union. Option B. Quality circle. Option C. Functional department. Option D. Mission statement. The correct answer is option A. Labor union. Labor union fits because a labor union represents workers collectively in dealing with management. Quality circle is different because it focuses on work improvement suggestions. Functional department is different because it groups similar work, and mission statement is different because it states purpose. Question 56. Where does leaders describe what the organization wants to become in the future inside a training program for the Falcon unit fit best in management terminology? Option A. Role. Option B. Job description. Option C. Concurrent control. Option D. Vision statement. The correct answer is option D. Vision statement. Vision statement fits because a vision statement expresses an inspiring future state. Role is different because it states a specific required or prohibited behavior. Job description is different because it lists duties of a position, and concurrent control is different because it monitors work while it is happening. Question 57. Should a student connect employees are grouped into departments such as finance, marketing, and operations during a manufacturing expansion for the Falcon unit with which management concept? Option A. Divisional structure. Option B. Functional structure. Option C. Matrix structure. Option D. Virtual team. The correct answer is option B. Functional structure. Functional structure fits because a functional structure groups people by similar skills or activities. Divisional structure is different because it groups by product, customer, or geography. Matrix structure is different because it creates dual reporting lines, and virtual team is different because it works across distance through technology. Question 58. Which concept is shown when a leader focuses first on helping followers grow and succeed within a nonprofit organization for the Falcon unit? Option A. Autocratic leadership. Option B. Transactional leadership. Option C. Servant leadership. Option D. Scientific management. The correct answer is option C. Servant leadership. Servant leadership fits because servant leadership prioritizes follower development, service, and trust. Autocratic leadership is different because it emphasizes command by the leader. Transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes performance exchanges, and scientific management is different because it emphasizes efficient work methods. Question 59. A production manager directly supervises employees who make the company's product inside a regional branch for the Falcon unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A. Line authority. Option B. Staff authority. Option C. Informal authority. Option D. Mediation. The correct answer is option A. Line authority. Line authority fits because line authority is direct authority over core work activities. Staff authority is different because it provides advice and support. Informal authority is different because it comes from relationships rather than formal position, and mediation is different because it helps parties settle a dispute. Question 60. During a management case, a team generates many ideas before judging any of them in a customer service center for the Falcon unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A. Groupthink. Option B. Brainstorming. Option C. Arbitration. Option D. Budgeting. The correct answer is option B. Brainstorming. Brainstorming fits because brainstorming separates idea generation from evaluation to encourage creativity. Groupthink is different because it pressures members toward agreement. Arbitration is different because it lets a third party decide a dispute, and budgeting is different because it plans financial resources. Question 61. How should a manager classify a situation where countries cooperate to make trade easier among members at a family-owned business for the Falcon unit? Option A. Informal organization. Option B. Job enrichment. Option C. Mediation. Option D. Trading alliance. The correct answer is option D. Trading alliance. Trading alliance fits because a trading alliance reduces barriers and supports trade among participating economies. Informal organization is different because it is a social network inside a workplace. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility, and mediation is different because it guides dispute resolution. Question 62. When employees share unwritten values about how work should be done in a multinational company for the Falcon unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, organization chart. Option B, budget. Option C, job specification. Option D, organizational culture. The correct answer is option D, organizational culture. Organizational culture fits because organizational culture is the shared values, beliefs, and assumptions of members. Organization chart is different because it shows formal structure, budget is different because it allocates money, and job specification is different because it lists required qualifications. Question 63. After employees follow a required sequence for approving purchase orders at a new startup for the Falcon unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, procedure. Option B, policy. Option C, mission. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option A, procedure. Procedure fits because a procedure lists the steps for completing a recurring task. Policy is different because it is broader and less step-by-step. Mission is different because it states the organization's purpose, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 64. If a manager defines a problem, lists alternatives, evaluates them, and selects a solution at a warehouse facility for the Falcon unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, rational decision-making model. Option B, grapevine. Option C, equity theory. Option D, laissez-faire leadership. The correct answer is option A, rational decision-making model. Rational decision-making model fits because the rational model uses a logical sequence to choose among alternatives. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication. Equity theory is different because it explains motivation through fairness, and laissez-faire leadership is different because it gives followers broad freedom. Question 65. To analyze a case where an HR specialist advises managers about hiring rules without running their departments inside a project team for the Falcon unit, which term should be selected? Option A, line authority. Option B, centralization. Option C, concurrent control. Option D, staff authority. The correct answer is option D, staff authority. Staff authority fits because staff authority supports line managers with specialized advice. Line authority is different because it directly commands core work. Centralization is different because it concerns where decisions are made, and concurrent control is different because it monitors work in progress. Question 66. For an exam item where a leader rewards employees for meeting agreed performance targets inside a training program for the Falcon unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, transformational leadership. Option B, servant leadership. Option C, transactional leadership. Option D, situational leadership. The correct answer is option C, transactional leadership. Transactional leadership fits because transactional leadership uses exchanges, rewards, and corrective actions. Transformational leadership is different because it inspires commitment to change. Servant leadership is different because it emphasizes serving followers, and situational leadership is different because it adapts style to readiness. Question 67. In a workplace example where a neutral third party hears a dispute and makes a binding decision during a manufacturing expansion for the Falcon unit, which concept is tested? Option A, arbitration. Option B, mediation. Option C, brainstorming. Option D, job rotation. The correct answer is option A, arbitration. Arbitration fits because arbitration gives the third party authority to decide the outcome. Mediation is different because it helps parties negotiate without imposing a decision. Brainstorming is different because it generates ideas, and job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs. Question 68. Before choosing an answer about a manager recognizes that basic needs must be met before higher growth needs motivate employees within a non-profit organization for the Falcon unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, equity theory. Option B, expectancy theory. Option C, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Option D, reinforcement theory. The correct answer is option C, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs fits because Maslow's theory arranges needs from basic physiological needs to self-actualization. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness comparisons. Expectancy theory is different because it links effort, performance, and rewards, and reinforcement theory is different because it uses consequences to shape behavior. Question 69. One manager notices that an employee receives performance input from supervisors, peers, subordinates, and sometimes customers inside a regional branch for the Falcon unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, 360-degree feedback. Option B, self-managed team. Option C, job specification. Option D, budget control. The correct answer is option A, 360-degree feedback. 360-degree feedback fits because 360-degree feedback gathers appraisal information from multiple sources around the employee. Self-managed team is different because it gives a team control over work. Job specification is different because it lists qualifications, and budget control is different because it compares financial results with a budget. Question 70. Could a case where middle managers convert broad goals into departmental actions in a customer service center for the Falcon unit best point to which concept? Option A, strategic planning. Option B, tactical planning. Option C, orientation. Option D, collective bargaining. The correct answer is option B, tactical planning. Tactical planning fits because tactical planning translates strategy into plans for units or departments. Strategic planning is different because it is broader and handled mainly by top management. Orientation is different because it introduces new employees to the organization, and collective bargaining is different because it is negotiation between labor and management. Question 71. Why would a scenario where a department head groups jobs, assigns authority, and allocates resources at a family-owned business for the Falcon unit most likely test which idea? Option A, organizing. Option B, planning. Option C, leading. Option D, controlling. The correct answer is option A, organizing. Organizing fits because organizing creates the structure needed to carry out a plan. Planning is different because it chooses goals before the structure is built. Leading is different because it motivates people rather than designs jobs. And controlling is different because it checks performance after standards exist. Question 72. Where does a team write a goal that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound in a multinational company for the Falcon unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, vision statement. Option B, grapevine. Option C, SMART goal. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option C, SMART goal. SMART goal fits because SMART goals are clear enough to guide action and evaluate results. Vision statement is different because it describes a desired future rather than a measurable target. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and bureaucracy is different because it is a formal role-based structure. Question 73. Should a student connect a manager adapts decisions to different laws, cultures, currencies, and markets at a new startup for the Falcon unit with which management concept? Option A, global management. Option B, domestic management only. Option C, job analysis. Option D, concurrent control. The correct answer is option A, global management. Global management fits because global management requires leading and coordinating across national environments. Domestic management only is different because it focuses on one home country context. Job analysis is different because it studies one position, and concurrent control is different because it monitors current work. Question 74. Which concept is shown when a theorist emphasizes hierarchy, formal rules, and impersonal treatment at a warehouse facility for the Falcon unit? Option A, bureaucratic management. Option B, human relations management. Option C, transformational leadership. Option D, JIT inventory. The correct answer is option A, bureaucratic management. Bureaucratic management fits because bureaucratic management explains organizations through formal authority, rules, and specialization. Human relations management is different because it emphasizes social and psychological factors. Transformational leadership is different because it inspires change through vision, and JIT inventory is different because it reduces inventory holding. Question 75. A manager studies how changes in one department affect suppliers, employees, and customers inside a project team for the Falcon unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, scientific management. Option B, systems theory. Option C, job specification. Option D, downward communication. The correct answer is option B, systems theory. Systems theory fits because systems theory views the organization as interdependent parts within a larger environment. Scientific management is different because it focuses on efficient task design. Job specification is different because it lists worker qualifications, and downward communication is different because it describes message direction. Question 76. During a management case, an engineer reports to both a functional manager and a project manager inside a training program for the Falcon unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, functional structure. Option B, centralization. Option C, matrix structure. Option D, job analysis. The correct answer is option C, matrix structure. Matrix structure fits because a matrix structure combines functional and project authority, creating dual reporting. Functional structure is different because it usually has one functional chain. Centralization is different because it refers to where decisions are made, and job analysis is different because it studies the content of a job. Question 77. How should a manager classify a situation where team members write ideas silently, discuss them, and rank the options during a manufacturing expansion for the Falcon unit? Option A, brainstorming. Option B, grapevine. Option C, job analysis. Option D, nominal group technique. The correct answer is option D, nominal group technique. Nominal group technique fits because the nominal group technique reduces dominance by collecting individual ideas before voting. Brainstorming is different because it usually encourages open idea generation. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and job analysis is different because it studies work duties. Question 78. When a company creates separate units for consumer products, business products, and services within a non-profit organization for the Falcon unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, functional structure. Option B, simple structure. Option C, divisional structure. Option D, staff authority. The correct answer is option C, divisional structure. Divisional structure fits because a divisional structure groups work around products, customers, or regions. Functional structure is different because it groups by specialized activities. Simple structure is different because it has little formalization and few departments, and staff authority is different because it gives advice rather than a full divisional design. Question 79. After a manager sets objectives and chooses actions before work begins inside a regional branch for the Falcon unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, organizing. Option B, planning. Option C, leading. Option D, controlling. The correct answer is option B, planning. Planning fits because planning is the function that defines goals and decides how to reach them. Organizing is different because it arranges resources after goals are set. Leading is different because it influences people to work toward goals, and controlling is different because it measures results against standards. Question 80. If an employee reports illegal conduct to appropriate authorities or channels in a customer service center for the Falcon unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, benchmarking. Option B, whistleblowing. Option C, job rotation. Option D, downward communication. The correct answer is option B, whistleblowing. Whistleblowing fits because whistleblowing is reporting wrongdoing that threatens the organization or public interest. Benchmarking is different because it compares with best practices. Job rotation is different because it changes job assignments, and downward communication is different because it sends messages from managers to employees. Question 81. To analyze a case where employees receive health insurance, paid leave, and retirement contributions at a family-owned business for the Falcon unit, which term should be selected? Option A, base pay. Option B, benefits. Option C, selection. Option D, SWOT analysis. The correct answer is option B, benefits. Benefits fits because benefits are indirect forms of compensation beyond direct wages or salary. Base pay is different because it is direct wage or salary compensation. Selection is different because it chooses employees, and SWOT analysis is different because it reviews strategic factors. Question 82. For an exam item where a company turns a new idea into a useful product or process in a multinational company for the Falcon unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, creativity. Option B, forecasting. Option C, innovation. Option D, grievance procedure. The correct answer is option C, innovation. Innovation fits because innovation applies creative ideas to create value. Creativity is different because it generates ideas but may not implement them. Forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions, and grievance procedure is different because it handles employee complaints. Question 83. In a workplace example where new employees learn basic policies, expectations, and workplace routines at a new startup for the Falcon unit, which concept is tested? Option A, recruitment. Option B, orientation. Option C, performance appraisal. Option D, arbitration. The correct answer is option B, orientation. Orientation fits because orientation introduces new hires to the organization and their jobs. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, performance appraisal is different because it evaluates results, and arbitration is different because it resolves disputes through a binding third party. Question 84. Before choosing an answer about a manager postpones addressing a conflict and hopes it disappears at a warehouse facility for the Falcon unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, forcing. Option B, avoidance. Option C, collaboration. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option B, avoidance. Avoidance fits because avoidance delays or withdraws from conflict rather than solving it directly. Forcing is different because it uses authority to impose a solution. Collaboration is different because it openly works through both sides' concerns, and mediation is different because it uses a neutral facilitator. Question 85. One manager notices that a new competitor enters the market with lower prices inside a project team for the Falcon unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, strength. Option B, threat. Option C, opportunity. Option D, procedure. The correct answer is option B, threat. Threat fits because a threat is an external condition that can harm performance. Strength is different because it is an internal advantage, opportunity is different because it is an external positive condition, and procedure is different because it is a sequence of steps. Question 86. Could a case where a company changes its processes to comply with new workplace safety rules inside a training program for the Falcon unit best point to which concept? Option A, grapevine. Option B, job enrichment. Option C, government regulation. Option D, power distance. The correct answer is option C, government regulation. Government regulation fits because government regulation sets legal requirements that organizations must follow. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility, and power distance is different because it is a cultural value dimension. Question 87. Why would a scenario where employees worry a new system will reduce their status or job security during a manufacturing expansion for the Falcon unit most likely test which idea? Option A, empowerment. Option B, benchmarking. Option C, orientation. Option D, resistance to change. The correct answer is option D, resistance to change. Resistance to change fits because resistance to change often comes from fear, uncertainty, or perceived loss. Empowerment is different because it gives people more discretion, benchmarking is different because it compares against best practices, and orientation is different because it introduces employees to the organization. Question 88. Where does a company reinforces a new process until it becomes the normal way to work within a non-profit organization for the Falcon unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, refreezing. Option B, unfreezing. Option C, storming. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option A, refreezing. Refreezing fits because refreezing stabilizes a change so the new behavior lasts. Unfreezing is different because it prepares people for change, storming is different because it is a team development stage, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 89. Should a student connect frontline supervisors plan specific daily activities and work routines inside a regional branch for the Falcon unit with which management concept? Option A, operational planning. Option B, strategic planning. Option C, organization development. Option D, benchmarking. The correct answer is option A, operational planning. Operational planning fits because operational planning deals with short-range tasks, procedures, and schedules. Strategic planning is different because it covers broad long-term direction. Organization development is different because it focuses on planned organizational change, and benchmarking is different because it compares practices with leading performers. Question 90. Which concept is shown when a team ignores warning signs because members want agreement more than realistic evaluation in a customer service center for the Falcon unit? Option A, groupthink. Option B, constructive conflict. Option C, benchmarking. Option D, equity theory. The correct answer is option A, groupthink. Groupthink fits because groupthink occurs when pressure for harmony weakens critical thinking. Constructive conflict is different because it encourages useful disagreement, benchmarking is different because it compares with best practices, and equity theory is different because it focuses on perceived fairness. Question 91. A supervisor formally evaluates an employee's job results against standards at a family-owned business for the Falcon unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, job analysis. Option B, recruitment. Option C, performance appraisal. Option D, orientation. The correct answer is option C, performance appraisal. Performance appraisal fits because performance appraisal assesses how well an employee met performance expectations. Job analysis is different because it studies job duties, recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and orientation is different because it introduces new hires. Question 92. During a management case, an organization relies on written rules, hierarchy, specialization, and formal procedures in a multinational company for the Falcon unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, adhocracy. Option B, grapevine. Option C, bureaucracy. Option D, job enrichment. The correct answer is option C, bureaucracy. Bureaucracy fits because bureaucracy is a formal structure built around rules, hierarchy, and defined roles. Adhocracy is different because it is flexible and innovation-oriented, grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns work for motivation. Question 93. How should a manager classify a situation where workers value personal achievement and individual responsibility over group loyalty at a new startup for the Falcon unit? Option A, collectivism. Option B, power distance. Option C, individualism. Option D, JIT inventory. The correct answer is option C, individualism. Individualism fits because individualism describes cultures that emphasize the individual over the collective. Collectivism is different because it emphasizes group loyalty and shared identity. Power distance is different because it concerns acceptance of unequal power, and JIT inventory is different because it concerns materials timing. Question 94. When employees work harder when they believe effort leads to performance and performance leads to valued rewards at a warehouse facility for the Falcon unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, equity theory. Option B, expectancy theory. Option C, reinforcement theory. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option B, expectancy theory. Expectancy theory fits because expectancy theory connects effort, performance, and outcomes. Equity theory is different because it centers on fairness comparisons. Reinforcement theory is different because it focuses on consequences after behavior, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy. Question 95. After a routine refund request is handled with an established policy inside a project team for the Falcon unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, non-program decision. Option B, program decision. Option C, strategic alliance. Option D, job enrichment. The correct answer is option B, program decision. Program decision fits because program decisions use rules or procedures for recurring problems. Non-program decision is different because it addresses new and unusual situations. Strategic alliance is different because it is cooperation between firms, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns work. Question 96. If experts give anonymous opinions through several rounds of questionnaires inside a training program for the Falcon unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, Delphi technique. Option B, town hall meeting. Option C, functional structure. Option D, concurrent control. The correct answer is option A, Delphi technique. Delphi technique fits because the Delphi technique gathers expert judgment while reducing direct social pressure. Town hall meeting is different because it is open discussion rather than anonymous expert rounds. Functional structure is different because it groups similar activities, and concurrent control is different because it monitors current work. Question 97. To analyze a case where a leader makes decisions alone and expects quick compliance during a manufacturing expansion for the Falcon unit, which term should be selected? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, democratic leadership. Option C, laissez-faire leadership. Option D, servant leadership. The correct answer is option A, autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership fits because autocratic leadership centralizes authority in the leader. Democratic leadership is different because it invites participation. Laissez-faire leadership is different because it gives followers wide freedom, and servant leadership is different because it emphasizes serving followers' needs. Question 98. For an exam item where employees from different backgrounds are actively involved in meetings and decisions within a non-profit organization for the Falcon unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, recruitment. Option B, filtering. Option C, inclusion. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option C, inclusion. Inclusion fits because inclusion means people are welcomed, respected, and able to contribute. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, filtering is different because it distorts communication, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy. Question 99. In a workplace example where a manager sends instructions and performance expectations to employees inside a regional branch for the Falcon unit, which concept is tested? Option A, upward communication. Option B, downward communication. Option C, horizontal communication. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option B, downward communication. Downward communication fits because downward communication flows from higher levels to lower levels. Upward communication is different because it moves from employees to managers, horizontal communication is different because it moves among peers, and grapevine is different because it is informal and unofficial. Question 100. Before choosing an answer about an employee accepts the duty to complete an assigned task in a customer service center for the Falcon unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, responsibility. Option B, authority. Option C, accountability. Option D, centralization. The correct answer is option A, responsibility. Responsibility fits because responsibility is the obligation to perform assigned work. Authority is different because it is the right to direct work. Accountability is different because it is answerability for outcomes, and centralization is different because it keeps decisions at higher levels.